Today we've got Airdrop Alpha. The Solana network has a huge amount of congestion, we've got a decent number of actionables, and there's a possibility Solana will dip down to 140 to 160. So let's dive in. So starting with deBridge Finance, I met someone from the deBridge team a little while ago actually, and seemed like a pretty switched on team. Long story short, of course, you can go and use Wormhole, but maybe check out deBridge right now because they're going to have a future airdrop most likely. And although I don't think it's going to be anywhere as lucrative as Wormhole, if you want to bridge to a new ecosystem or if you want to get into Solana, then this potentially could earn you a couple of hundred or maybe a couple of $1,000s depending on how much you use it. Of course, it's likely if you use more than one wallet, you'll also do well. Now onto the price of Sol. So Blunts, I mentioned the other day, I think he was bullish, and now he's a little bit bearish. This is short-term bearish, and just keep in mind that when the charts change, when the range changes, all this, then all of a sudden the price targets change. So Blunt thinks we may head down to 160 and then up we shoot. So what I'm going to do in my actionables section is I'm going to set different buy orders at like 170, 160, 150, 140, and about 130. Trader Cos is a very good trader as well, and he has the same viewpoint, down to 140 and then up we go. Now let's talk about ore supply. Now if you didn't watch my video the other day, ore supply is basically a way that you can earn via proof of work a token on the Solana blockchain, and it involves putting through a lot of transactions. And all these transactions are effectively spam and they hurt the network in a sense. Now I did tell you about this really early on, like on April 2nd. When I first found out about it, ore was about $135. I tried to set up the CLI to actually do it, and I didn't manage to get it to work. I tried to do it on my phone, didn't work, and then I also tried to do it recently with CLI and I still didn't get it to work. So I covered it very, very briefly because I can't do a tutorial, it's just too difficult. Anyway, the Solana network has had congestion for quite some time, but now this app's come along, and basically there's about 30% of all Solana transactions are because of this app. So let's just start off with this viewpoint here. If you're from another blockchain and you think, okay, this is bad, Solana's bad, which is common with someone that's very much in the middle curve. Just remember, this can happen on Sui, Sei, Radox, Aptos, and others too. I'm not sure what this blockchain is, but effectively, we're talking about blockchains that can handle a huge amount of throughput for a cheaper transaction amount. So in other words, where it's economically available for you to actually send a transaction. Now, this Chad is behind this. He said, white papers don't scale blockchains, pain and all-nighters do. So in other words, basically, this ore supply, it's taken off. Like it may never have. It may have literally got 0.1% of all transactions. Maybe there are a few people interested in it, and all of a sudden, there were a lot of people interested in it, a lot of bots. So basically, when you have problems like this, you don't do what Cardano does and write a new thesis on how your block will be able to handle more transactions when people actually decide to use the blockchain. Instead, you have to go and ship some. So the next big update that's supposed to be able to help is version 1.18, which is the Solana validator client. And as P2Mu mentions, because of OR, the Solana Labs team and the validator team, they actually have to work on getting 1.18 just shipped. Now the issue is you just can't go and ship it just like that. It needs to be run on testnet for a little bit of time before you can then ship it on mainnet. And for a few people that might think that ore mining is the problem, it's not the actual problem. Solana needs to be able to handle all these sort of things. Just for reference, there was a similar thing maybe 2022 on Polygon. It was a game where they did on-chain transactions. The game blew up, the token blew up, it's all crashed now of course, but the actual cost to do a Polygon transaction went from maybe 30 Gwei to around 5,000 Gwei. So this sort of stuff has already happened on other blockchains. The good news is Solana's being battle tested now, so it should be so much better come a few months, and then into next year it should be doing really well. Now if you do want to try and set it up, you can use this from Gnome. I tried this and I sent them a DM saying that I didn't quite get it sorted. Didn't give me a reply, that's fine, not expecting a reply. But in other words, I can't help you, so don't put in a question asking me how to do it. I have no idea. Now the ore price, of course, went crazy with the speculation, hitting 3.4K. However, it's come on down now. If we look at it right now, it's come on down sizably. This is why I'm not suggesting you go and buy it or even dollar cost average into it or anything like that. It was around this price when I was aware of it, and then up it came, and here it is now, just under 1,000. By the way, there's plenty of teams working on the new release for 1.18, including Anza. They're working on their own client, Agave, and so maybe it's even less than that. Now, this is a little bit technical, but essentially what it is I've mentioned it before, but in order to get onto the blockchain, you have like an on-ramp, and this on-ramp kind of goes onto a big fast highway. And at that on-ramp, if you can kind of imagine, this is the on-ramp here, this is the big highway, and there's like, let's say there's like 3 lanes. These 3 lanes come, and there's traffic lights here, and it goes red, orange, green, red, orange, green. So one car goes through, one car goes through, one car goes through. Now the issue is where you've got this scheduler, it doesn't know if it's a legitimate transaction or just a spam transaction. So it can't give priority to the decent transactions or to the transactions that pay more in fee initially. So what's basically happening now in 1.18 is the scheduler is being changed so it can actually see how much people are willing to pay as a transaction. And then they push it onto the blockchain. But there's a lot more to that. That's just a brief understanding. And then Mert sums it up quite well. If everyone spams, a lot of connections get dropped since a block leader can only handle so many connections at once. Bots spam better than humans, so users get the worst end of the stick and get dropped the most. Like yesterday, I spent 90 cents on a transaction to go through. 90 cents. So to win, you must spam more than the others. It says more concretely, nodes bots that spam more aggressively will have a higher chance of success with close to no penalty. He then says if Helios did this at scale, for example, this could bring down the chain as we regularly land over half of all transactions. So this is out of the question, tragedy of the commons. He then says since this happens before the scheduler, it's unclear if 1.18 will actually fix this. Probably not. Also, this also means that increasing your fees will not help, so increasing it above a certain median will just make you waste money. And network patches are what's required, those are rolling out soon. Anyway, we'll see how it goes, but for now, just expect, unfortunately, a lot of transactions will fail on the Solana blockchain, and my suggestion is to make sure that any leverage positions in something like Drift, Zeta Markets, Flash Trade, Dupe have a decent amount of buffer in case the price of Sol does dip down, or in case things go up, just in case you can't actually get more collateral to cover your position, because you might be there just pushing transactions and you may do 20 transactions and nothing goes through. If you've been on Jupiter, you may notice this recent congestion has also affected things as well, such as new tokens are not shown very quickly. They've now resolved the backlog, however, but for new meme coins, you may not have found them instantly. There's also a massive infrastructure upgrade happening across the board starting next week, and so hopefully this helps as well. Later today, there's 2 AMAs in the Dupe Discord. These should go on YouTube within the day, hopefully. You've got 9 Heroes. 9 Heroes is a game, a popular game, and I think this will do very, very well. And then you have Digital Social ID. I've never heard of these guys before. Sharkify points are now available to trade on Whales Market in case you want to buy or sell some. And Cougar has done a great thread on the ecosystem called yesterday. I wanted to be able to cover it, give it a nice TLDR in a video, but I just don't have the time today. So let's quickly go through it because he always does a good job. So let's start with the wins of the month. Stablecoin transaction on Solana, 20x in 6 months, huge number of fees, and Cubic public goods funds hit 100k. More fees, that's great, and total funding for this was massive. Now this is really just a drop in the ocean. In the bull market previously, on Gitcoin, on Ethereum, I think there's probably 10, 20 million or more, I can't actually remember. A huge amount of funding. And Solana needs something like this as well. So congrats to Cubic and everyone that donated. Win number 4, Drip crossed 10 million mints. Really, really like Drip. But right now with the congestion, I think it's going to be really hard for Drip to get out all of their entities. Win number 5, DPIN is bringing users on-chain fast. I'll include this in my actionables actually, or I'll just tell you right now. Grass, Uprock, IONET. Use all 3 of these. IONET is still very, very early, so if you skip this for now, fine. But if you've got extra bandwidth for your internet, use Grass and Uprock. Dupe has crossed 140 billion in all-time swap volume, absolutely insane. There were Solana Genesis Day celebrations. I didn't even know these were a thing. Crossmint has crossed 35,000 clients on their platform. So this is something I may want to look into because it's clearly gaining some interest. Then we have Circle CCTP, so cross-chain transfer protocol, basically meaning we can move a huge amount of USDC from one blockchain to the other, and all we're paying for is gas. There's like no slippage. We're seeing a DPIN migration. So Roam Network, haven't heard of them. Port 3, Gather AI, haven't heard of any of them, but they're moving across to Solana. Now, of course, some of these are going to move across just because of the narrative, but others will move across just because it's better to build. AAA games are coming. Parallel is launching their AI-powered game Colony on Solana. That should be really cool. And Nine Heroes is live to play on the Epic Game Store right now. And Helios has shipped automatic private nodes, so dedicated RPCs. We'll see how things go over the next day. If I notice that Phantom just doesn't work with transactions, then maybe we'll set up a private RPC and try out Soulflare just to get stuff done for the next few days. Metaplex introduced Core, the next-gen standard for NFTs. By the way, I think there's a Super Team DAO Earn, a thread on this. If you want to do a thread, submit it to Super Team Earn, and you could win like $500 or maybe even $1,000. And of course, Wormhole was absolutely amazing. Nearly $700 million worth of tokens. Also, on the subject of this massive airdrop was fantastic. People were selling the token for about $1.80 beforehand, and now it's just below $1. I'll give you my thesis at the end, I guess, on what I'm doing with W, but I'm starting to see that it's not really a bad idea to go and use Whales Market right now for early allocations and sell some of your allocation at a higher inflated price, because people seem to be pricing it in at a much higher price, and then it starts to come down. And then final thing here, Solana at a glance, total value locked 4.8 billion. There's more non-voting transactions happening per day. True TPS is almost 1,000. Validators are slowly increasing, more active wallets, and more staking accounts. Make sure you stake your soul with validator.com. Okay, now it's time for our actionables. Number 1, use deBridge Finance if you want to go from one blockchain to another. Number 2, trade on Backpack Exchange for the Tensor drop. I mentioned this yesterday as well, but if you want to be eligible for the Tensor drop on Backpack, you must follow these instructions. There's 36 hours left, so probably less than 24 by the time you've actually watched this video. And the deadline's April 6th. You must use Backpack Wallet to do a trade on Tensor HQ. Connect the wallet used on Tensor to your exchange account by following this video. Next actionable is get a LETSBONK.DOMAIN. You can go and grab it here from all domains, and this will help you build your dragon. I personally will be getting one of these. I won't show you how to do it because it's easy, and I've actually got a tutorial on how to use all domains, so no need. Number 4, ensure greed is set up for your whitelist if you're keen to participate in greed. This is the same tweet that I mentioned yesterday. I'm not sure how much time we've got to actually go and connect, but you connect your wallet, and optional, you can connect your Twitter here as well. And sometime soon, maybe when the network's not so congested, you'll be able to put some soul in and go from there. Number 5, claim ZEUS. I've done a video on this, so I won't show you how to do it. What I will show you though, is that I said I thought the price would actually go to around 72 cents. I also set up Meteor pools, so hopefully I could capture from around 35 cents to like 50 cents. I couldn't capture any volume in there whatsoever. It went straight up to basically 72 cents. It went past $1 briefly, but basically around 94 cents. And now it's come on down. I think around this level's probably a good level. There's obviously a little bit of speculation here with most of crypto, but especially with ZEUS. But I think for now, testing out the bridge, because once Bitcoin can flow easily onto Solana, this will attract a decent amount of Bitcoin. And the final actionable is maybe setting some buy orders at $130 to $160 on Sol. You can use your preferred DEX. You can do them on Dupe, Drift, Zeta Markets, Bybit, Binance if you want to go centralized, whatever one you want. Phoenix.trade also works. Personally, I'm not going to be putting on a short position or anything like that. And now I'll just end quickly with the wormhole price. So we're down to 95 cents. So basically it's almost halved in value essentially. And right now I predict a massive accumulation. My goal will be to have at least 5,000 in a wallet. Once staking goes live, I'll stake. I think that will give us future airdrops. Those airdrops will be things for like Monad, which is an EVM solution, and a lot of people are bullish on it. But also anyone that got the wormhole token will probably get a token from someone else. So as an example, if you stake your wormhole token and you use Backpack Exchange, you might then get some Backpack token in the future. Something like that. I think that is the thesis. So that's all for today. Stay curious. Catch you tomorrow.